Hi there, Steve Kaufman. Today I want to talk about phrasebooks. Remember, if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe. I want to talk about phrasebooks because as I'm getting ready to go to Bratislava, I want to refresh my Czech, because even though Bratislava is in Slovakia, I think Czech and Slovak are fairly similar. I want to get a better sense of the differences. But last time I was in Prague, I bought a book like this. I don't know if you can make it out. It says Česko-anglický mluvník. And a mluvník is a kind of phrasebook, I found out. Slovnik is, slov is a word, slovnik is a dictionary, but mluvník is like a speaking dictionary. And what it consists of is, it's basically a dictionary of phrases. But the phrases are arranged by words. So what are the words, what are the phrases rather, that come with, whatever, you pick up here. Okay, kde bydlíš, where do you live? Kde máš děti, kde se tu bereš, nemám kde bydlet, and so forth. So you get a whole bunch of phrases which use that particular word, and it has the English beside it. And then I said to myself, well, this is great. I need the same thing in Slovak. So I went to the publisher, Lingea, online to see if I could get the ebook. And lo and behold, I can. So I bought a Slovak English mluvník, known in Slovak as hovorník, but same idea. And so it'll kind of familiarize me with these phrases in Slovak. And then, while at it, I want to improve my grammar in Russian. And I think it would be great to have a Russian-Czech mluvník so that I can see these phrases in Russian. Bear in mind that this one is designed, I think, primarily for people who are learning English, for Czech speakers learning English. But it works great for me learning Czech. And so if I get Slovak English, it's going to help me. If I get Russian Czech, it's going to help me. So then I said, it'd be interesting to see, because these are not that expensive as ebooks. And the others that were offered as ebooks were Czech Italian and Czech German. So I'm kind of interested in seeing these equivalences between phrases in Czech and phrases in these other languages. And I can buy them, they're like €9 or something each, buy them ebook style. And now I just got to figure out how I get them to my Kindle app on my iPad or iBook or something. So I got a little bit of work to do yet to figure out how I best carry these with me. But obviously it's a lot better to carry them as ebooks than to carry, 4 or 5 of these books along. And to me, that kind of phrasebook is, I think, going to be very useful, especially useful if you already have a lot of exposure to the language, or, as in the case of Slovak with Czech, they're very similar languages. But the other kind of phrasebook, the phrasebook that you get, that I bought, for example, before going to Vietnam or Myanmar, or a long time ago, before going to Portugal, at a time when I didn't know Portuguese, I have always found those not so very useful, because it's so difficult to remember any of these phrases. So you can probably use them if you are actually looking up the phrase and reading it while speaking to someone. But the idea that you can somehow memorize these phrases, at least I have not been able to do that. I was in Vietnam for 6 or 7 days, and I had this book of Vietnamese. I had some Vietnamese audio I was listening to. There's some phrases, and at the end of 6 days, I had only one word, come on, which means, I think, thank you, come on. And the only reason I remember it is because it's similar to come on in English. So I have always found, and I have bought a number of these. I've got Croatian phrasebooks and gosh knows what phrasebooks. And I find that it gets back to the same idea that you need to sort of upgrade or to develop so much of a general level of experience with the language before a phrasebook or a grammar book or whatever can be helpful to you. I just feel personally that there's no shortcut to this massive exposure to the language. And once you have that, then you can go in and focus on phrases. You can go in and focus on grammar, patterns, and so forth and so on. So because I have, say, in Link, I spent a year on Czech, an hour a day, whatever it might be, an hour and a half a day. I read, I don't know, 800,000 words. I have 60,000 known words according to our statistics in Link. And effectively, I can read the newspaper, and I understand most of it. There's words that I don't know. However, to really get back into the flow of phrasing and grammar and case endings and stuff like this, I have the feeling that going through this phrase book, and I'll be sitting on that airplane, I've got a lot of time, I think it's going to be very useful to me. I wish that we had this kind of phrase book for other languages. In other words, you look up a word in French, in Spanish, and in Chinese or whatever, and so the word is there, and then 10 phrases with that word, and the next word, and 10 phrases, and on the other side, some other language, a language that you're more familiar with. At any rate, just some thoughts on phrase books, and I do look forward to your comments. Thank you for listening. Oh, let me add, next time I'll update you on our mini stories. They've been a bit slow in coming because we are, working with volunteers, and sometimes we have, lessons 20 to 30, but we don't yet have lesson 1 to 5 back in from a different volunteer. But it's going to be more than 30 languages. It's going to be amazing. And so that's something to look forward to. I know that there are these mini stories in Slovak, but they aren't ready yet. Once I get them, I'm going to do the mini stories in Slovak so that by the time I get to Bratislava, hopefully I'll have an easier time communicating in Slovak. Okay, thank you. Bye for now.